Sports Zone. Coming up on the big stage, as we always say, talent and passion can take you far. It is an arts showcase where we celebrate our homegrown talent locally, regionally, and internationally. Last week, Mono celebrated 30 years in the music industry. We will catch up with what happened during that activation. Tony Kaliofas launches his second album, Tererai, on the Star FM Artist Album live launch this last Friday. A jazzy album which got a lot of people excited. The big turning on the hit and providing great platform for those who love to party and hang out in a classy setup. Those are some of the things that we'll talk about on the big stage.
The big stage.
The Harare International Festival of the Arts is around the corner from the 1st to the 6th of May. And guess what? I am taking time out from work. That's when I usually take my annual leave. So the big stage asks you tonight, as we go through some of these trending stories, have you ever been to Haifa? As we share the big stage tonight, what is your Haifa moment of all time? So if you've been to Haifa,
Big stage.
what is that highlight? What is that moment that you always cherish about this big showcase? Now, according to Voice of America, a member of the public being interviewed by Fazila Muhammad said Haifa has been like a tablet. It has come at a time when people are so stressed, so many problems, but Haifa has brought people together. So despite the problems, it's been like a therapy. It's made people forget their troubles. And he goes on to say, I, for this whole week, have forgotten about my troubles. I have not gone to the bank to get my salary. I've not bothered because I've been so preoccupied. And it's been therapeutic despite everything else. This is what people of Zimbabwe need. We are facing so many challenges. It is significant. So we're talking about Haifa. Do come through on 0775897897. Share with us your Haifa moment of all time. Talking about Haifa, it is a 6-day annual festival and a workshop program that showcases the very best of local, regional, and international arts and culture in a comprehensive festival program of theater, dance, music, circus, street performance, fashion, spoken word, and visual arts. Haifa has come to be seen as an important symbol of something positive about Zimbabwe, unifying socially and culturally disparate groups of Zimbabweans at a time of ideological conflict and political uncertainty, bringing huge audiences together to celebrate something positive, the healing and constructive capacity of the arts. So like I said, Haifa season is a time that I just want to take some time out and refresh and recharge, re-energize, because music is therapeutic just like that. So do come through on WhatsApp 0775897897. Share with me your Haifa moment.
The big stage.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. My name is RK. On the big stage, talent and passion can take one far. Talking about Mono celebrating 30 years in the music industry. One wonders what's there to celebrate, given the music industry has faced a lot of challenges: lack of infrastructure for development, lack of support from government and even the corporate. We've only seen these changes coming up lately, but 30 years, 3 decades,
The big stage.
the artists have continued to struggle. So what's there to celebrate? What are the highlights? Caught up with Mono Mukundu, and just to find out if he's still in those high energies, celebrating 30 years in the music industry.
Industry. We called it triple launch because we were launching 3 items to celebrate the 3 decades I've spent in the music industry. So I was launching 3 items. The first one was the book Poor and Famous, and then a DVD tutorial where I'm teaching Zimbabwean guitar styles like Sungura and Bira guitar, some call it Murenga. And the third one being my 10th album called Acoustic Revisit. So the event was held at Theatre in the Park on Wednesday, 21st of March. That's a few days ago. and it was well attended, and we had a number of guest speakers, the likes of Professor Fred Zindi, Miss Joyce Makwenda, and Miss Mukundu was there representing her husband who was out of the country. So it was a very successful event with a number of acts that were performing, the likes of Somanda Ndebele, who is the first artist I went into the studio with in 1992. Also the likes of Hope Masike, Kuchine Chatsama, Tina Wachkoka, Ethnic Pose, Mbeu, and Dindingwe, as well as Derek Mpofu. I've looked back in my life and I've noticed that a number of my friends have passed on, and all the friends that I started music with have passed on. So it was a way of thanking God for taking me this far, and celebrating all the experiences that I've had throughout the 30 years in the industry. It's difficult to pinpoint one achievement, but I'm happy with the experience that I've had in the industry, because that's what I can pass on to the younger generation. As you might know, my son is also in the music industry, so I've got a lot to teach him, and I also met a lot of other young musicians. So I think the greatest thing I can say I've achieved is the experience.
The big stage.
Yeah, that is the very best way I see. That's what I see in the music industry. Because looking at our artists, both people usually they equate fame with wealth, and it's a true case when you look at countries like the United States of America, South Africa, Nigeria, and other countries. But in Zimbabwe, we have got, in fact, the majority of our artists, they are very famous but very poor at the same time. There isn't much money at the moment, and there is a couple of reasons which are causing that problem, and those are the reasons that I wrote in the book. Number one, they have to be professional, because this is a business. So most of them, they take it just like Zungo Tamba, just for fun. But music is a business. It's called music business. So the business part is the most important part. So my biggest advice is talent is not enough. Because most people think that as long as I am talented, everything is now okay. But if you have talent and you lack strategy, you won't go anywhere. So my biggest advice is talent is not enough. You need to work on your business side. And the business side, there are a lot of things that are there, including the genres that you choose to do. But there are certain genres that will give you airplay in Zimbabwe, but they won't put food on your table. And also there are certain behaviors that will give you newspaper coverage, but zofunga mari. Because we always hear every time in the newspapers, and of course, some people might say there's no publicity, that is bad publicity, but I would want to disagree with that, because if you look like people like the corporate world, they don't want to deal with anybody who has got a bad image. So it's things that the young artists have to look and be very careful about. The greatest challenge, in fact, the biggest challenge is the bad economy. And then also the population. Our population is very small. But if you look at countries like South Africa and Nigeria, because your first audience is your Vanomika Mako. So if your Vanomika Mako vary a very small number like we have in Zimbabwe, it's very difficult, especially with the economic challenges that we have. So that's the first biggest challenge. And the second biggest challenge is also caused by that problem, is the lack of record labels. Because right now we've got a lot of studios, but we don't have record labels. And record labels, the way they operate is they scout for talent, record the talent for free, record the artist for free, and then they'll make their money from the sales. But the problem is the sales are the ones that are piracy. So there's no way you can start a record label. But for artists, the lack of record labels is one very big turn down, because we've got a lot of artists in the ghetto and who don't have money to pay for studios. And those are the artists who are supposed to be recorded, record labels, which is scout. But at the moment, no one can do that, because there's no way to sell the music.
You mentioned that
could have made money out of R&B, whether as an artist or whether as a promoter. All R&B tours that have been organized in Zimbabwe were flopped. It's only something that just doesn't work in Zimbabwe. It just doesn't work in Zimbabwe. R&B and hip-hop doesn't work in Zimbabwe. It's a fact. Numbers don't lie. Just look at the numbers. Who does my shows R&B and hip-hop in Zimbabwe? Akanamira poster in the Jizadza.
Celebrating 3 decades in the music industry, in the music business. And he says it's music business. And a lot of Zimbabwean artists have become famous but are very poor. So he put together a book called The Poor and the Famous as one of the items that he was launching during his 30-year celebration last week. In attendance as well to this celebration was Professor Fred Zindi as well as Alexio Kawara.
Very down-to-earth, grassroots kind of book for the person who is aspiring to be a musician. It gives you the inside knowledge of what the music business is all about. And many musicians lose out because of ignorance. And Mono has raised, in this generation, massive hand-holding to those emerging musicians by sharing his personal experiences and understanding the insights into the world of music. And this is very encouraging, especially to aspiring musicians. It is a very useful book. Even I find it very useful. And I've been writing music books for the last 10 years. I find it very, very useful.
Hi, this is Alexio Kawara. So I attended the launch, and one thing that I must say is I appreciated the support that Mono got, and I attribute that to the fact that I think he's been working with a lot of artists for a long time and also is a very professional guy. For me, I think the benefit that I think this will bring, the CD, the book, and the musical, the tutorial CD, is that it will also give us a chance to learn from Mono's experience in the music industry, because he has quite a history in the music industry and he's worked with a lot of artists. And I'm sure this is something that will benefit even generations that are coming long after we are gone, after this generation is gone. So I think for me, it's something that I would like to commend even all the other artists to try and do that, so that their legacy lives on even after they're long gone.
Hi, I'm Christian H. at Summer. Male artists seem to work together well more than female artists, and it's a good thing that the male artists in Zimbabwe have got do support each other regardless. They are not like we female artists, because you can actually that was actually proven at Mono's launch. There were so many male musicians and I can just call them all musicians, and support from the arts itself. And you rarely find that in women artists, which we probably need to learn as well.
The big stage.
It looks like on the big stage today we are taking some time just to also celebrate 30 years in the music business. A number of voices coming through. Professor Fred Zindi, who has written a lot of books that are used even in music education in Zimbabwe, also saying, the book that Mono has put together, The Poor and the Famous, is quite a it's quite a handy book that generations will use and will find strength from it. Let's take one last voice as well from this one here, and then we move on.
Mono's triple launch was quite an interesting event and unique as well because it was a 3-in-1 whereby he launched a guitar tutorial DVD, which is something that has never happened in Zimbabwe. He's one of the first people to have that tutorial DVD. Then, of course, the second thing is the book that he launched. His second book, Poor and Famous, which of course he was helped to launch by Professor Fred Zindi, which is another thing that artists hardly do. They hardly document things and put things in place, but he's managed to do that, and actually it's his second offering. So thumbs up to Mukundu. Then of course he then launched his album titled Acoustic Revisit, which comprises of songs that he did way back, which he was helped to launch by artists that he took us on a journey whereby the artists he's worked with came on stage, whereby he took us down memory lane with the first performance from Somandla Ndebele, who is he's the first guy he recorded with actually. So yeah, they did a performance with Somandla, then came on stage, then Hop came on later, then Derek Mpofu. Then to close that segment was Talent, who is a physically challenged young lady, but very, very talented, plays mbira with her feet, and is currently working on an album with Mukundu as we speak. So yeah, thumbs up. And in the crowd, so many artists came to grace the event, which kind of like shows us the kind of guy and what respect he has in the industry.
Enough of Mono and 30 years in the music industry. Well done, and thank you so much for documenting and making sure that nothing is lost, but all the experiences are put in a book, and that the next generation can also tap into those experiences and get better out of that experience.
You're live on the big stage.
That's what we like to do on the big stage. We like to celebrate artists, homegrown talent on the move. Last week on Friday, Tony Kaliofas launched his second album titled Tererai. Now, this is a 7-track album which features songs like Muyaye Madzinza, Shinonzi Rudo, Ndogo Paimbiri, Zipo, Musandisi, and I'm trying to remember the other ones, but I think the last track was Pindirai. And a lot of people came through as well and supported that one on Friday via WhatsApp and you name it. Right, let's just sample one song coming through from that album that we launched on the Star FM Artist Album live launch. This one is called the Chikururudo.
FM fans. My name is Tony Kaliofas. I would like to thank you for the support that you have shown me on the 23rd of this month when I was launching the album Tererai. Guys, you did well by calling in. Some they send in some messages via WhatsApp. Some they send text messages as well. Some they came through via Facebook. I want to thank you for the support that you've shown me. You've given me strength to go on. I know that by this day, some people, they might still need to get in contact with me, but they failed to get my number. My number is 0719 305 832. Guys, get in touch. If you want some disc, you can get in touch and I can provide you with some disc. Thank you. I'm out.
Excited about support. Let us support homegrown music through thick and thin. And of course, what we're saying on the big stage is don't you buy any pirated copies. Make sure you look for the original. Make sure you look for it on the digital platforms and you buy it. Okay, last one on the big stage. The big turn up, turning on the heat and providing great platform for those who love to party and hang out in a classy way. Attended the big turnout. Quite some interesting event right there. Spoke to the founder of this initiative just to find out what is the heartbeat, what place does this big turn up come to feel on the entertainment calendar in Zimbabwe.
My name is Tawanda Mike Mazzara and I'm the co-founder of the Big Turn Up event which just happened this past Saturday. I'm so excited about it because people are supporting us. People came in numbers. We had quite a number of artists, the likes of Tammy, Alexio, Adrian Tate, Okina Fukatsu, which is a band. We also had on the decks the Royal DJs, that's Juice and AM. We also had Langton B, Fat Child, MC Stan Splash, Mox and Knox. What the Big Turn Up is, it's a luxury lifestyle event which particularly focuses on fashion, that's just clothing themes and whatnot, luxury car exhibits, live band music, and so on. So we started this particular project in October 2017 because all we just want to do is sort of create a VIP movement, a VIP/celebrity movement, you know, where people can then have an interaction with any sort of celebrity, be it in sporting, be it in fashion, in any sort of industry. We want to create linkages between, you know, celebrities or VIPs with any ordinary person. So, for example, well, what we're saying is, you know, Big Turn Up is an event or it's a platform where you can just walk in and say bump into, for example, Jah Praiser in his personal capacity, and you can have an interaction with him, or any sort of artist or any sort of sporting celebrity. So this is what the Big Turn Up is, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank our revealers, and hopefully in April it's going to be bigger because it can only get bigger. That's all I can say for now.
The big stage.
Here's hoping that you had a great day, and as you drive back home, drive to stay alive, take it nice and easy, don't race it. Make sure you reach home and you have supper with the family. Some of the things that we looked at, some of the stories that are making headlines on the big stage. Mono celebrates 30 years in the music industry. Tony Kaliofas launches his second album, Teterai, on the Star FM Artist album live launch. And of course, the big turn up. If you have that VVIP mindset and if you like to live on the wild side of life, well, look forward to that one. And of course, coming up from the 1st to the 6th of May, Haifa. was looking out for your Haifa moments, and I think that my app is letting me down somewhere because it's stuck on a certain place. But I'm sure you've been to Haifa. If you've never been to Haifa, you have no idea what you are missing out on. What an experience. Food, good times, music, fashion.
The big stage.
Poetry, spoken the word. Everything that is arty. If you're an artsy person, then this one is definitely something for you to diarize and be a part of it. Thank you so much for joining me on the big stage. Let's do this again next Monday.